Hey, nerdy sports fan here. We're into week 16 NFL action and the fantasy football championships. Man, I can't wait to win that money. So we have the Oakland still kind of Raiders going up against the Los Angeles-ish Chargers. So two teams without a home going up against one another. It's this is a game for all you orphans out there. The Raiders are a talented team with a good coach that are on the upswing moving into their new stadium. The Chargers are a quasi-talented team that's losing a lot of talent, might not have a great coach, going into a city and stadium that probably doesn't want them. Yeah. Kind of bleak outlook for the Chargers. I'm sorry. I really am. You should have stayed in San Diego. I really wish that the NFL would have approved your owner's Carson City stadium deal as opposed to Stan Kroenke's. And it's just going to submarine the franchise. And it's a sad thing to see. So, again, sorry, Chargers fans. And conversely, sorry, Raiders fans. I mean, last week you had to watch your team play its last home game and lose to Jacksonville of all teams. Come on. There's a lot of tragedy on both sides for both fan bases, and I'm genuinely sorry. As a Bills fan, I had years of wondering whether or not my team was going to move to Canada. And it's not a good place to be. So anyways, on this game, the Oakland Raiders have more to play for than the Chargers, and seemingly are playing harder than the Chargers for various reasons. I just see them bringing more energy to this game than the Chargers do. And so I definitely think the Raiders are going to win. Both quarterbacks are really playing kind of the same. Raiders fans are going to want to say Derek Carr is the savior of the franchise, but he just isn't, okay? He's not that kind of guy. He's not that kind of leader. He's got some real talent, and, on a college team that matters, on a pro team, you need to be the dude, all right? And he certainly is not. This team does not fall in line behind him, period. He's not that kind of leader. You're going to want a different guy, okay? John Gruden will draft a quarterback within these next two drafts. Mark my words. Anyways, the Chargers need the same thing. All right, Phillip Rivers is not the same quarterback that he was in the past. He's a Hall of Fame dude. I get it. But he's Dan Fouts 2.0. Okay? He's, once again, the Chargers saying, hey, we've got a good quarterback too, that never won the big one. Last year was Rivers' best chance. It didn't happen. They've fired their offensive coordinator. That wasn't the answer. They're probably going to do an entire overhaul in the offseason. And they're probably going to leave Rivers right where he is at the starting quarterback position. And that's a mistake. The guy's lost it at this point. So I loved watching his career, but now it's over. So, in his swan song here at the end of the season, I just think he's going to get beat up on. All right, the Raiders, last time they faced each other, picked him off 4 times. I don't see that any sort of change. Okay, I don't see any progression from this Chargers team that makes me think they're going to be better against the Raiders this time around. All right, the Raiders are young and hungry, and the Chargers aren't. The Chargers' defining moment this season was Melvin Gordon's contract holdout. Yeah, that says a lot. So, fantasy football-wise, I, as always, like Waller. He's the number one passing option for the Raiders. Josh Jacobs is going to have himself a game, all right? He's going to look like an all-pro against this Chargers defense. You need to play with energy as a defense. And that locker room is entirely deflated at this point. They're looking for ways out. So they're not going to be in the game. I just don't see it. I see the Raiders coming with fire and the Chargers not being able to answer it. And Josh Jacobs is going to run roughshod all over the Chargers. Because of that, they're not going to need the passing game so much. So Waller's the only start worthy because he's the number one target and the tight end close to the line of scrimmage, like Derek Carr likes to throw to. As far as the Chargers go, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are always quality starts because of garbage time. They tend to produce numbers. Rivers just hucks the ball up there and lets his talented receivers fight for it. And they're very good. So they usually come down with the ball. So that's how they make their nut. All right. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are fighting for 50-50 balls, and they'll continue to do that. All right. So one of them's going to get in the end zone, maybe both of them. But they will get enough targets and get enough yards to be quality starts. Melvin Gordon's a joke. Last week, he fumbled the ball twice. He's not playing for this year. He's playing to not get hurt and get to his next contract with a different team. So you don't want that anywhere near your fantasy team right now. If you're in need of a running back, Austin Eckler is the play because he's the one that's actually putting effort forth. None of this sounds good for the Chargers at all, so definitely do not start Phillip Rivers. He's great with yards. He's bad with interceptions. He's probably going to throw 3 more in this game because his team's not trying hard enough. And his offensive line's terrible. So he'll have defenders in his lap while he's hucking up 50-50 balls. Is it going to equal touchdowns for Keenan Allen and Mike Williams? Probably. Is it going to equal interceptions for the Raiders defense? Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't see a lot going in the Chargers' favor right now. It's maddening to me that 70% of the country thinks the Chargers are going to win. They're actually 6-point favorites in this game. Does not matter, okay? There's some sort of obsession with a home field advantage sort of thing. The Chargers don't have a home field advantage, all right? They're playing in a makeshift college stadium that might fit 20 people in it, okay? They're playing on the road every single week. The Raiders will take advantage of that. The Raiders are going to win, period. So, obviously, put your money on Oakland because they're being given 6 points. Okay? Even if they don't come out with a win, they're not going to be beat by a touchdown. All right? It's either the Raiders dominate or they lose a squeaker. That's it. Hit up the rest of my videos for more fantasy football advice. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Thanks, guys.